Well, we lost a little ground last week as rates start this week just slightly higher than they started last week. So what happened? Wednesday's war news worked against early week rate improvements, but the big surprise was on Friday when, for the first time in a really long time, actual data impacted rates. The jobs report came out on Friday. Not only did it crush expectations, but the previous two reports were actually revised higher, which meant even more strength was shown in the employment sector. But wait, that's a good thing, right? Employment is strong. Well, while it's good for our economy, it's actually bad for the mortgage markets. Why? Because the markets, the real estate, the stock markets, etc., they're looking for the Fed to cut the Fed funds rate in order to stimulate economic growth. And guess what? The Fed's not going to do that if the economy is already growing, and employment numbers and inflation are the two things they look at. So if employment numbers are strong, the Fed is less likely to cut those rates. What happens this week? Well, we get two big reports, CPI and PPI data released on Wednesday and Thursday. They could really prove relevant this week since the war is bouncing inflation data all over the place. So we'll watch for the CPI data and we'll watch for the PPI data, the consumer price index and the producer price index. There are other videos on my YouTube channel if you want to go check that out and find out what those things are. So we go back to the same thing. We're watching data a little bit midweek this week, but really it's all about war. When are we going to get a resolution? Is this thing going to keep dragging out? Is it going to escalate and get worse? Where does that leave us with rates? Current mortgage rates, 30 years at 6.67%. The 15-year opens the week at 6.13%, and the FHA is at 6.18%. Remember, those are Mortgage News Daily's actual rates. Your rates could be better. They could be a little worse, depending on your credit and overall situation. The only way to know is pick up the phone and give me a call. This week, what are we looking for? We're watching the war. We're watching for CPI and PPI data midweek. If you have questions, I'd love to talk to you. If you want a quote, I would love to get you a quote. Just pick up the phone and give me a call at 205-229-2267. Can't even say my own phone number. Because at Weber Mortgage, we're a family in the business of helping families.